Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. I am following up very closely with the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, and believe me when I tell you that important events are going to take place very soon on the west and east of Europe. If you have been watching my past videos, you have noticed that the conflict between Russia and Ukraine is a power struggle. What it means is that both countries are pointing a gun at each other's head, and the country that drops the gun first will lose. But wait, something similar is also happening on the conflict of Belarus and Poland border. Why is it similar? Because it has a similar power play. Okay, let me explain it better. Everything began in 2021 in May, when the Belarus government, a former Soviet Union, violated the human rights of Belarusian citizens. The government of Belarus was accused of internet blackouts, arrests, torture, and government control over the freedom of speech. In response to those human rights violations, the European Union implemented economic sanctions over Belarus. Now, this is when the power play takes place and when this conflict becomes similar to the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Because in order to escape from the economic sanctions and to regain authority, the president of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, also known as Europe's last dictator, had a plan. The plan was to destabilize the European Union by proving a point. What point? That the European Union lacked efficacy, moral ethical conduct, and therefore have no right to manage. Lukashenko attacked one of the biggest weaknesses of the European Union: their borders. The European Union have a big concern towards their borders, so much that for a long time it's part of the economic agenda of the European Union to give funds to countries like Morocco, Jordan, Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Georgia, Azerbaijan, and Turkey. So those countries can serve as a human shield to the European Union. Do you understand what I'm saying? When those countries guard their own boundaries with maximum force and competence using the funds of the European Union, the European Union borders are secured. Those shield countries are preventing migrants from even reaching proximity to the European Union yards. This system was working just fine, and the European Union was happy, so were all the other countries that were receiving money and funds from the European Union, and life was great for everybody. However, in June of 2021, the president of Belarus permitted about 15,000 of migrants from Syria, Iraq, Iran, all places in the Middle East and Africa to receive tourist visas to Belarus, knowing very well that those people were actually trying to cross the border with Poland, Lithuania, and Latvia in order to get, on their own words, to the good countries. For those migrants, the good countries are Germany, France, Ireland, and UK, for example. They had no intention of staying in Poland. They were seeking a better life, and for that, they were willing to cross the Polish freezing forest on foot. But when they got to the border, there was a big military wall of soldiers waiting for them, standing behind the fence. This fence was built on wire and iron spikes on top. Those migrants tried to cut the fence to break it, but the Polish police responded, firing tear gas, stun grenades, and using water cannon to push migrants away from the fence. Those migrants were stuck at the border, hoping Poland, Germany, or the European Union would let them pass sooner or later. They even believed that the European Union or Germany would suddenly let them in on Christmas Day. They were so misinformed. They had no idea that neither the European Union, Germany, or even Poland was ever considering to receive them in the first place. Together at the jungle, time passed, and winter arrived. At least 21 have not endured the sub-zero temperature of the forest and died. A few hundreds of migrants had broken the fence and managed to cross the border, escaping the Polish police, running into the open forest. But most of the migrants, women and small children, were not able to, quote-unquote, succeed, because there is no milk and honey waiting for the migrants on the other side of the fence. This is because Polish forest is one of the largest of the world, and the border measures 2,182 miles. It means that migrants would have to survive the cold, the lack of water and food for at least a month until they get to civilization. Some of the migrants went back to their countries, but others claim that they cannot go back for political reasons. In November, the government of Belarus sheltered those remaining migrants in a warehouse. There, they received blankets, mattresses, and one meal a day by the Red Cross, and that's why they're still alive. But reporters described the immigrants as awfully lean. So about 700 are still at the warehouse, probably waiting until the end of winter to try to cross the fence one more time. I know you are feeling very sorry for those poor migrants, but let me tell you, this is not even a fraction of what migrants go through in another borders. The treatment that migrants receive at the borders of countries like Morocco, Jordan, Turkey is a lot worse. On the borders of the southern Europe and North Africa is where life is unbearable. All kinds of violence, unimaginable, awful things happen to migrants on those places, completely violating human rights. This is why the President Lukashenko is being so successful in proving his point, because the European Union have already violated human rights by sending migrants back to their own country where they could be killed, because it is in violation of the Refugee Convention to deport someone if that will endanger their lives. And using physical violence against unarmed civilians is another violation. Also because when the European Union pays those countries to harden their borders, they know migrants are suffering all kinds of violence on those places, and that makes the European Union lose international credibility. What else makes the European Union look bad? It is the fact that if European Union would accept those migrants, because if so, the president of Belarus would have succeeded in his plan. For another side, if the European Union just let them cross and pretend it was an accident, it also would make them look bad, because protecting their borders is one of the European Union responsibilities. From another side, the president of Belarus is accused of destabilizing the European Union and attacking the European Union borders. Even the Pope Francis criticized the president for the exploration of migrants for political purpose. A migration specialist even suggested that Ukraine should accept those migrants as the best solution for this problem. This was Belarus and Poland border conflict explained. Let me know your thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye.